What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 different lessons that I've learned from my real estate mentors over the years. Now, these are people that, number one, you've probably heard of if you've been involved in the real estate industry in pretty much any capacity over the last 5, 10, even 15 years. But number two, these people have reached a higher level of success than probably 99.999% of the real estate professionals out there. So there's definitely a few things that you can learn from them. And the first lesson that I learned from my mentors is that they are always thinking in terms of what is the next level and how do I get there. So their business is never going to look exactly the same as it did the year before, because all too often, I'll see a real estate agent or investor or whoever it may be, and their business looks exactly the same as it did last year or even 5 years ago or even 10 years ago. And if you don't really care about your business and you're just happy about where you are and you're satisfied and you don't want to improve it all, that's fine. However, the top people in the industry, the top 1%, these are people, they are always evolving their business. So it may not even be that they're working more. Maybe they're doing different things, working on different systems so that they work less. But either way, they're always improving. They're always looking for that next level and asking themselves that question, what is the next level and how do I get there? And the second thing I learned from my mentors is that they think bigger than pretty much everyone out there. So while most real estate agents or real estate investors think on kind of like a local basis, a real estate investor might say, wow, what if I own 4 or 5 rental properties over here? Or a real estate agent might say, wow, what if I did 20 transactions? These guys think on a national scale. So they think, in terms of the real estate investing aspect, it's, hey, how do I own 10 100-unit apartment buildings across the United States? Or from an agent perspective, instead of thinking, wow, what if I opened my own brokerage locally and had 10 real estate agents? They think in terms of a national scale. So they would think, how do I open 100 different brokerages across the United States and become, the preeminent real estate brokerage in the country? And I see it happen all too often. People just don't think big enough. So that whatever you're thinking right now, I would try to multiply that times 10. There's a great book by Grant Cardone. I think it's called like the 10X principle, something like that. Just look up Grant Cardone. He's got a lot of books on really just thinking bigger than people. And he said his biggest regret when he was getting started was that he didn't have a 10X mindset. He was just thinking in terms of what most people think of in terms of like maybe getting slightly marginally better, and instead of thinking of what would happen if I 10X my results. Okay, and the third thing I learned from my mentors is that they are always carving out time to learn something new. They're always reading books, attending seminars, attending masterminds, getting involved with people nationwide who are at a higher level than them, people that they can learn from. And actually, it's funny. And actually, I'll tell you a quick story. So a few years back, I was at a mastermind event with one of my mentors. And this is a guy whose business at the time generated over 100 million in revenue. And this is not a brokerage where it's, $100 million worth of real estate sales. This is an actual business that generated over 100 million in revenue. And you would think that he probably knows more than everyone in the seminar. You'd even question yourself as to why he'd be there. But in reality, he was taking more notes than pretty much everyone else there. I mean, he was continually learning. And that's something that he taught me. You always want to, whether it's carving out, an hour to read in the morning, attending seminars, there's never a point where you should stop learning. It's funny how many real estate investors and agents think that they're like above learning anything new, like, oh, I make a couple $100,000 a year, like there's nothing else I could possibly learn. And it's a shame because they're just not, they're not exposing themselves to new ideas. Their business is going to probably remain the same, if not even stagnant, without learning new ideas and implementing new strategies. So there you have it, the 3 lessons I learned from my mentors. And just to recap this video, the first one, you should always be thinking in terms of what is the next level and how do I get there? And the second thing would be to think bigger than most people. So picture your goal, imagine your goal, and then multiply that times 10. Think like Grant Cardone, where he has a 10X mindset for pretty much everything he does. And then lastly, you should always be learning. So whether it's books, seminars, masterminds, myself personally, I read at least 50 books a year. I try to attend at least 4 seminars a year. I attend mastermind events. And you should always be learning. There should never be a point where you're just, where you're done learning, because I see that happen all too often. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give me a like, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. All right, bye.